Alright, hello everyone. Welcome in to a live stream. Today we're gonna do a very quite short walk around the Kipling station area. We are in, what is this, Central/South Etobicoke. Looks like my audio works. Alright, so welcome in Dreambert, who was here first. Tyler, hello. Kevin, Toronto's Doo-Wop. Alex. Mo is here. Thank you, Dreambert, for the star. Jennifer, welcome. Good to see everyone. Please hit that thumbs up on your way in. I don't have a poll on this one, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Super chats are always open, but unnecessary, although appreciated. Yeah, no poll on this one. I kind of forgot. So no decision making for you guys today. We will resume poll on next stream. Once again, thank you guys for joining in. I hope you enjoy this rainy, overcast walk in Toronto. It'll be short and sweet. Although I still have an entire power bank just sitting in my bag, so I could go on for a long time. The main power bank is only at half capacity, so it's still gonna last a while anyhow. Well, thanks, Mo. I appreciate that. And you're saying it's not raining there in Tickborne. I see. Well, it is sort of drizzly, kind of that miserable weather that we don't like a lot. But it's hear this. I'd rather have a little drizzle than a little snow in May. So that is that. And yes, I have seen snow yesterday when I was up in Newmarket and East Gwillimbury, so oh my god, the May is not up to an amazing start. Hopefully my microphone is working all good. I can of course see my chat, so if something doesn't, just shout. That is true, Mo, yes. We do need rain for grass and trees to prosper. Basically, for anything that grows in the ground, we need rain. Not terribly often, but that's how nature keeps itself up. We either get a little bit of rain here and there, or we get a massive dump of water. Very rarely. Say once every 2 or 3 months. And then we get rewarded by having good, warm, dry weather for the next couple of weeks. So It's a process. Here's Auckland Road and Dundas. Hey, Christopher. Well, hello. How was the Belleville trip? You missed the township of Matacont. Well, the Belleville trip was very good. It was short, but good. It was mostly inspired by a free business class ticket back. But thank you very much to Kevin and Janet, who very kindly took us around Belleville, took me around, and made the most of the short time I had. I definitely want to come back later on, after the summertime or maybe next year, for a bit of a more in-depth look. Maybe loop it in with a Kingston trip. It's a very quaint town, if I can say that. It is big. It's not small, but it is interesting. I caught myself several times thinking of its resemblance to North Bay. And to be honest, I don't really know if I can pick a certain favorite. North Bay has a lot of places that I specifically like, such as their waterfront is very well developed. And also some of their smaller streets are very pleasant to walk through. But Belleville overall has a very calm vibe. It's like, it's always quiet there. There's basically no road noise by the waterfront. It feels like a very easy stay if you were to go for a couple nights. It'd be like easy peasy. It's that kind of place you go to clear your mind or something. I don't know. Kind of therapeutic in a way. But North Bay is different. I do like both of those together very similarly. So right now we're walking east along Dundas, but essentially what we're gonna do is make a big loop around, and we'll find ourselves walking south on this street here, which is Kipling. You'll see when we get there. This whole area here has been redeveloped. 3 new intersections rebuilt. Actually, 2 rebuilt, 1 added for ease of use. But it's still such a confusing area. If you've never driven here before, So basically Kipling, this south-north artery or whatever. And then there is Dundas, which is this street. It goes west-east. It continues on there, but it makes a 90-degree turn a little bit north of here. Right at the next set of lights, we have Bloor Street, which also runs east-west in the grand scheme of things. And it continues straight, as straight as possible. But remember, the Dundas Street makes a 90-degree turn to the left up there. So it ends up intersecting with Bloor. It crosses Bloor Street, then right after makes another sharp 90-degree turn to the right and continues going east. And then a lot of people probably know that in downtown Toronto, can you hear me now? Yes, should be good. Yeah, so I don't know how long I was muted, but essentially Dundas, this street, runs east-west. Kipling runs south-north. A little bit north we have Bloor, which runs east-west. Dundas turns left 90 degrees. So it crosses Bloor Street, then immediately turns right 90 degrees again to continue going east, but at a slight angle eventually. So Bloor Street runs in a straight line like an arrow downtown, but Dundas curves. It makes a little bit of a hill north of Bloor. So where the Up Express stop for Bloor Station is, that's the area where Dundas comes back down south, crosses Bloor Street exactly at a perpendicular angle, right? So 90 degrees once again. It crosses Bloor and then turns slightly left. So it then heads towards downtown, once again a bit in a zigzag motion. It's a super weird street, but there's a street behind it, so you can definitely look it up if you want. So that's that. This is one intersection of Bloor and Dundas. And then there's another intersection of Bloor and Dundas closer to downtown. So if you're wondering how come Dundas runs north of Bloor for some reason in the west end, but then it runs south of Bloor in downtown and the east end, that's why. Super weird infrastructure, but Dundas was here first, and Bloor Street was built after the city got, you know, named Toronto. And then Bloor Street got properly done. And obviously it then got the subway line, so that's why it's kind of straight like an arrow, mostly. Hey Kyle, hello. We are just around Kipling Station, exactly where I told you I was gonna go, but I am currently making a big loop back to Kipling Street, and then we're gonna go south on Kipling for a bit. I'm essentially just milling around the area of Kipling Station. Better now, Juliet? Sounds good? Sorry about that. Excusez-moi. So here it is, the intersection of Bloor and Dundas, number 1. This is where all the confusion begins. Oh my god, you cannot script this. You can't script this, ladies and gents. There's the sirens. Welcome to Toronto. See, we had 0 sirens in Belleville. But within 20 minutes, we get a siren in Toronto. Fantastic. Oh, I'm not going to Lakeshore, Kyle. I don't have that much time. But that's okay. I'll do I have to reschedule the collab walk, unfortunately. Because, you know, let me just say tech issues. I also have to re-plug in this freaking cable. There we go. Oh no, it's tangled on this side. Frick. So we're still following Dundas, by the way. Even though now we're heading north. And welcome all 30 of you who are watching. Much appreciated. Or 22 rather. I know, cause John is gonna go live. At the precise moment I'm going live. Of course. Yeah, it was a good time, Mo. Thanks for asking. For those of you that missed it, check out the live stream from this morning. There's a lot of wildlife we saw that we'd never in a million years see just in the wild in Toronto here. Alright, here's the intersection of Dundas and Dundas. There's another confusing ass streetlight situation thingy. Dundas Street West here, Dundas Street West there. So this is where it turns to go east again. But we're not gonna go there. We're gonna head west. Back to Kipling Street. Or Kipling Avenue, rather. We'll leave the Dundas walk for another day. Maybe I'll do a Dundas walk from Kipling to Yonge Street. I don't know. Someday. Yeah. His stumbles streams are very weird and unlikable at times, Mo, so I completely understand. Hey Dia, welcome. Feeling exhausted. Yeah, I bet. After that marathon that you did. Well, congrats on the achievement. It's definitely something to be proud of. And hello, Alex. You filmed a walking video here? So this tiny one-way, one-lane street, guess the name. It is nothing other than the famous Dundas Street West. So this one single lane is the technical continuation and one of the terminal points of Dundas Street West. And all it serves to do is give a easier pathway to Kipling Avenue. Instead of going to one of the intersections of Dundas and Kipling, or Dundas and Bloor, or Bloor and Kipling, absolutely, Dia. It sounds like something a lot of people wouldn't really finish, but good on you for starting and completing it. And I think you should take definitely a couple of days to rest after that. I can imagine how sore your legs are gonna be. Alright, so this is Bloor Street that we're crossing, and we're walking south on Kipling. So this is the part that I told you about 10 minutes ago, that we were gonna go south on Kipling after making a loop. So that was the loop. Funny enough, actually not walking on any street other than Dundas Street West. We've only crossed Bloor, so now we're walking on Kipling. Your legs feel like stone. Yes. I certainly feel that. And I hope that I feel better sooner than later, but you know, they need time anyway. So a couple days of rest, at least. There was actually a marathon in Toronto this morning. A bunch of big chunks of roads were closed for big periods of time. Anywhere between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. tomorrow. But thankfully most of the roads there are open. I believe it's only Strawn and some other smaller road that's still closed until tomorrow for packing up all the marathon things. Maybe they have a ceremony, I don't know. There's a fully electric Nova bus. 45. So that's the Kipling Avenue bus that runs north of Kipling Station. And there's its counterpart, the number 44, Kipling South. So that's the bus that runs on Kipling, south of Kipling Station. And of course, it looks like now that I'm streaming, the rain is done. What was that about? It was raining on my way here, but as soon as I start walking and stuff, it stops. That's fine now. Guess I don't have to stress about my gimbal. I don't mind that. Peace of mind. Hey, Nikki's Experience. Hello. How are you today? I guess, Kyle, but it's been looking like that all day, no? If it starts... If it starts raining super hard, then I have to put my gimbal away. And then we're gonna go handheld. Because I don't wanna risk it. You saw in the description that there's a meetup, Nikki? Yeah. Well, anyone is welcome, so all you gotta do is show up at the time and place. It might be like maybe 5 people total, but still technically a meetup. So no promises on the amount of people, I guess. I don't even have the big one, Kyle. I only have a small portable umbrella. And those are good. I agree. But I don't have an umbrella with me right now. I am very much risking it. So this is our guarantee for not soaking the gimbal. Interestingly, the clouds on the left of us look like the rain clouds, but the clouds to the right, there is a bit of water in there, but not too much. So I guess hopefully the clouds are moving east. And they should be, because all the rain and overcastness that was scheduled for Belleville has moved down later towards nighttime, so theoretically, if they get our weather after us and not from the north, then all of these rain clouds should be moving east, and that means away from me. It also seems to be the case because when I was just first getting out of Kipling station to start the stream, it was drizzling, but then it stopped. So yeah. And just a quick reminder to everyone watching, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't yet, and subscribe if you're new, as it helps the channel. Memberships are always open for prices starting at $1.99 a month Canadian or $1 a month US. Here's Advance Road. And if you want this channel to advance, you can also support the channel using super chats or super stickers. Most of the super chat and ad revenue I receive on this channel goes back into the channel in the form of tech improvements and streaming setup. So the more you put in, the more improvement you'll see. That's pretty much the way this rolls. And I don't have anything to really comment on this area because there's no nice houses. It is all very industrial, which is the more reason for me to go live closer to where I live and show off the nice residential areas in central North Etobicoke. And we'll let Kyle take south, of course. And I noticed a very interesting design here in building. So they have the screen here. The pole here is very big and it'll probably support that screen forever. But if anything happens, they have it facing into the building, if you notice. So God forbid that like falls or caves or anything. It's not only taking the sign down, it's taking the entire building with it. So a round of applause for the civil engineers out there. What a amazing design. Here's the decision that I have to make. We either turn onto North Queen Street, or we go all the way to Queensway. But to be honest, I'm leaning towards North Queen because it's closer. It'll let me finish the live stream faster. So, yeah. Although I am still considering the Queensway, there's a lot more interesting stuff there. So if anyone wants to super chat a certain amount of money, then that might sway me towards doing the Queensway. But I'm not gonna tell you how much money, because I don't even know. It'll be like a feeling. I got this feeling inside my bones. Yeah, looks like we're not getting any more rain today, at least on stream, because I just see patches of sky again. Oh well, I'm not complaining. I will simply change the title after the stream. I will also have to make a proper thumbnail, because to be honest, I was supposed to go live something else, and I absolutely did not make a thumbnail for this stream. It was quite unplanned, in fact. Here's an interesting spot in Etobicoke. We have Cinespace Studios here. And if anyone knows what this is, the one person that would is Jennifer Gala. This is an important piece of the puzzle for Toronto shot movies and stuff. There's another number 44 bus heading north to Kipling station, only to turn around and head back south. Towards Humber College, Lakeshore campus. So we are approaching North Queen Road, And I know the Queensway is pretty close. So I might just continue on to the Queensway and then head north on some random road. In any sort of emergency, as the Queensway will have buses or anything, but I don't think we'll need that. Yeah, no, super chats are totally optional, Mo. They're not necessary. Yeah, they could sometimes be used for decision making. I guess when you're a channel like T-Shods or Johnny. Or Action Kid, who is actually live in New York City again after over a year. I saw that he was in Boston the other day, and today he went live from New York again. I don't think he is staying there forever. So, I don't know. I didn't actually watch. Hey, Craig O'Connor, welcome. Hello, hello. Same thing here. If that sign ever collapses, it's taking a good chunk of the building with it. What a great design. Although that's at Tim Hortons, so who cares really? Who cares? All right. On our right side will be North Queen, which is the street I was heavily considering taking. But I think we'll just push on to the Queensway. It's definitely going to be more interesting for a bit. Here's a Hilti Tools location, which I'm honestly surprised they are even open at all still. I mean, what's the point of selling? What's the point of having an in-person location if you're selling like $40,000 tools? Just ship them at that point. No one's gonna come and pick it up here anyway. Speedy Glass and the Gibson Pool and Hot Tub Center. Well, we are continuing south towards the Queensway. And I will turn on the Queensway to head west a little bit until we head north right back to Dundas. And then we will go east along Dundas right back to Kipling station. And that'll be that. So I guess it's not necessarily a short stream, but it ain't gonna be 6 hours, that's for sure. Up ahead there's a big old gray building. That's the Honda. Factory or something. And then there's a Ford one right behind it. Hello. Boom is in the room. Welcome in, good sir. You might be disappointed, but I did not take wine on my Via Rail business class trip back to Toronto. I want to drink. Definitely not today because I'm already tired and I got work tomorrow. So right near the intersection, no boom, and I don't like wine anyway, so never. Right near the intersection of the Queensway and Kipling is a Mandarin restaurant location. And by mentioning that, I gotta say, rest in peace to Young and Eglinton. Ooh, the wraps are up. Good to hear. These satellites is the Queensway. There ain't a lot of streets in Toronto, but there are some without a suffix like street, avenue, road, boulevard. But here we are at the Queensway. Not the Queensway Street, not the Queensway Avenue, just the Queensway. Interesting stuff. Also, to our left, or eastbound along the Queensway, past Kipling before Islington, is the newest addition to the north of Brooklyn pizzeria chain, right on the Queensway. Well positioned in Etobicoke, and I have been there before with a special guest. So look back on my channel to find that stream. It has not been a year. It was in the summer for sure. Alright, as we're heading west along the Queensway, I am happy to note that it is still light out. It's not quite dark yet, but that will not last too long, unfortunately. Here are a bunch of car dealerships, including a Volvo location. Volvo is not terribly present in Toronto. I do have one on the east end. Speaking of dealerships, Sherway Gardens finally is finishing up their Rivian booth. And speaking of Rivian division has finally opened its first ever booth. First ever physical location in Canada, and that is in Yorkdale Mall. I don't know, Zaza. I surely didn't. Raptors down 54-32. Okay. So that took a giant turn down from Boom's update a while ago. But I'm sure with the way basketball goes, they can easy turning around. They've done that before. Where am I walking? Back to Kipling station, but via a large loop-de-loop. Wraps up 2010. So, how do you explain the sudden loss of over 20 points? There's a storage location. But what kind of a sky is this? So majestic. The slight coloring within the dark clouds. Super awesome. Hey, there's the IKEA on the Queensway. Alright, so we're not taking this street, but we are taking another random northbound street. And eventually, after a whole bunch of boring nothingness of industrial Etobicoke, we'll be back to Dundas. There's Rudy. How about you sing, Zaza? You seem like a cheery lad. I couldn't sing. I'm sick. Hey, Liam? How was Wonderland? I did not watch the stream at all. But once I actually finally get home, I'll check some of the replay. I will do that. What? It was boring? Was nobody there? What's up? I saw a bunch of people go live from there, and I also know a bunch of people that were there, and they don't do YouTube, and they were saying it was pretty interesting. Oh, all you did was get food? Well, that would explain the boringness. That's kind of on you. You're supposed to go on the rides, Liam. That's where the fun is. If I was there and we didn't go on any rides, it would have still been boring. I promise. If you've ever had a vehicle repossession, this is where it might have gone if it was in Etobicoke. The repo lot. This is for bank repos or repos. Yeah? I think I saw 3 others. Apart from Ulium, but might be wrong in the count. I didn't watch any of them. I did get to catch a bit of Ready Yeti's stream on my way back on the Via Rail. That's of course before I left and fell asleep until Union Station. Yeah, Jordan CDF, and there was also another YouTuber which I totally forget the name of. BK Classics, better than ever. Come try today. What the hell kind of a design is that? Oh my lord. That restaurant. Could that possibly look inviting to like anyone? Especially not kids. Lord, just gray and glass. Okay, Liam. Well, Pee-wee, for that to be done, Liam has to give it a try first. So, we'll see. We will see. There's a big tow truck. Tow truck for trucks. We are walking on this street north, and to be honest, I forgot to look at the name of it, and I have no idea what street this is, but does it really matter when it looks like this? 4-point game, says Liam. 26-22. Interesting. Is 26 the Raptors? Or is 22 the Raptors? Well, just so you know, Liam, Zaza's not actually telling the real Raptors score. He's just reciting the lottery tickets from 1967. Assured Collision Center. The lucky day, Zaza, was 30 years ago, not today. So, but good luck with that, I guess. I don't know. We are approaching North Queen Street. This is the street I was going to take all the way to the East Mall, but I ended up deciding to walk all the way to the Queensway first. But here we are, back where I was going to be anyway. North Queen. So we're gonna take North Queen west to the East Mall, and then take the East Mall north to Dundas. There's a random goose on the left. Congrats, Liam, on redeeming the thing. I apologize if there's no sound because I totally forgot to fix it and raise the sound level. I'm sure you can see the GIF. Oh, the star is mucho delayed, Liam. You know. Here we are at a dead end of North Queen Street, and we're finally gonna learn the name of this one. Atomic Avenue. Honestly, just by how bland it is. Oh, someone drop an atomic bomb on this shit. I'm just kidding. I would not condone blowing anything up. But that's the street, atomic. Johnny is streaming till halftime. Okay, bud. We are live on YouTube apparently. Rainy Sunday, that's cap. Who else is live? Oh wow. Looks like nobody. It is me, Johnny Stumbles. Oh yeah. And Felicity from Cookies and Chaos making triple chocolate cookies. Oh. Sure, Pee-wee. I wasn't actually counting 24/7 cams because, you know, I have like 3 of those on my watch list. So, those don't count. They're live like, you know, every single day for the entire day, so it ain't fair. I was just counting the people that, you know, aren't live the entire day. But yes, you are 2 live. There's no chance we're gonna get this light. Imagine if we do though. Let's see. We're gonna press the button. Let's see if it starts switching. No? You know what? Never mind. Now that I'm here, I might as well just wait it out. I'll have to be on that side anyway. And do we have time, people? Yes, I think we do. There we go. That's a bit longer than I wanted, but I guess it's still decent timing. Considering there's no cars to cross, but there's also like barely any traffic along North Queens, so in my opinion it should have got ready faster, but oh well. Not too bad, not too bad. Well, we ended up fully stopping, yeah, like 1 car. The other ones were not close. So sorry to the pickup truck, but I do have to cross. You'll be live at 11 tomorrow from the dog park? Okay. Well, I'll be at work, so I might come in and say hello on the chats, or not. Who knows? Depends what I'm doing at 11. But good luck on your stream tomorrow. I know the dog park isn't the best for connectivity, but you know, hoping someday just all nature areas are perfect for streaming, especially High Park. But all we can do is wait. Okay, we're approaching the East Mall, which I'm gonna take north. We'll be northbound to Dundas. Do we really have 37 people watching? I'd give it like, interesting, 34 people, even while Johnny Stumbles is doing. Not absolutely terrible. Oh, 24. There you go. There's the truth. 24. Thank you all 24 who are watching in the background and not commenting or chatting or interacting with the stream, but if you do interact, please hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel. And if you don't interact, that's fine, I'll still get watch hours, which I'll actually get paid for because no copyrights today. All right. No, I think those are the voices in your head, Zaza. The bots can't talk, and they never will, but how do you get rid of them? If I get rid of all the bots, then I'll have nobody watching me. Maybe like 3 people. Looks like we've been live for almost 1.5 hours. Pretty good. Pretty good. Onwards to 2. Hey Liam, where are you at? There's a fire station. Fire station 432. They have a ladder. And they have another smaller truck there, but looks like most of their vehicles are out. I'm sure Liam will look up where they are in no time. Oh, nice. Congrats, Habs, on the score. "23 people watching. Yes, that's more like it. It was a bit suspicious when we had like 40. It's like, why would we possibly have that many people watch, right? This ain't Young and Dundas. This isn't downtown Toronto. So if we were to take the East Mall all the way north to Bloor, we'd be able to see Cloverdale Mall on the way. But since I'm gonna turn onto Dundas and not actually go past, we'll be able to see just the corner of Cloverdale Mall, maybe. Maybe not even. But I'll point it out for sure. It's a dead mall. It's gonna close soon. But for now it's running. Looks like a bit of a connection dip under the rail tracks there. There's another curious architectural road thing. The question of how to get to Dundas from the East Mall. The East Mall actually runs underneath Dundas. There's no set of lights for it. So in order to get over to Dundas, you'll have to go under and then take a side street adjacent of Cloverdale Mall, and then kind of turn right back around 180 degrees to Dundas. So instead of turning left onto Dundas like you might think, you'll be turning right from the other side. And there goes an ambulance vehicle. Looks like the sky is getting darker and darker. I wonder if we'll get back to Kipling Station before it's super dark. I think it could be done. Alright, here's the shortcut for pedestrians. Very, very handy. Why not a car? And also, I kind of need to stay on the south side of Dundas in order to get to Kipling Station. So, I'm definitely not going under like the cars have to. A cold? No, that's just my runny nose, Bob. I have been unfortunately stuck home for 3 days in a row this past week. So, no school, no work, and even as such, I wasn't able to go out and film for a lot. But, you know, I'm almost good, so that's good. No cold though, no cold. But hello again, Grandpa Bob, welcome. You're catching another stream closer to the end. What a talent you have for missing most of the stream and coming back at the end of it. Although, I'll warn you, there was absolutely no wildlife in this stream, so I guess there's no point in replaying it. Although if you want to give me watch hours, I don't mind. Oh my lord. $5 from Bob. Cable stuff. Hello, and thank you very much, Bob, for the $5. Much appreciated. Thank you. Like I mentioned this morning on the Belleville stream, my super chats are reset. So currently I'm at 0 for the month of May. So I have to quickly build up $100 at least to get a payout. We'll see how that goes. It's not necessary, but if anything, $100 is the minimum for YouTube. Hello again, Veritex. Welcome. We are absolutely in the final stretch now. Oh, I'm tired, Bob. Don't get this wrong. I'm only streaming because at this point I napped on the train back. And I was like, well, I have to charge my phone anyway. So my phone was at like 5% when I got to Kipling. And if I was gonna plug in my phone to charge, then I might as well just go live. I have my gimbal and power bank, and you know, the one single power bank that I've so far used today was still at 50%, so what the hell. Anyways, I have another entirely charged power bank in the backpack. Hey, Sunli, hello. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, Mr. Sunli. It's very much appreciated. 57th like, awesome. So, Bob, how does the stream look? It looks fine, right? Oh, Bob, did you see Brad Palmer's video shouting out his YouTube friends. And, you know, showcasing all the stuff that he's gotten from YouTube. Very conveniently, not mentioning me a single time. And the only reason I mention that is because, what the hell? I think I heavily misunderstood him. But whatever. How do I have 13,000 subs with only 35 people watching? Well, if you're curious, there's 35 people watching because a bunch of other more popular people are live. If you want the answer, then you want the answer that you want to hear? Yes. I'm buying bots. I'm paying $1 million a month. You want to hear the answer you don't want to hear? No. It is luck and a few hits that YouTube thought it was funny to push out more. Oh, well. I didn't know I had to give him anything to be friends list. But if you want to start counting, I did give him one of the very first membership cards that I had, along with pins. Oh, did I mention him and his Marie Palmer? Okay, that doesn't mean anything because he bought a membership, I guess. Well, actually, he didn't. He was gifted a membership. So he never paid anything on my channel. And secondly, I'm sorry, but traveling to North Bay isn't cheap or anything, and I don't see a lot of people doing that just to meet Brad and Marie and Bobby. So, sorry for spending time. I will be sure not to do that anymore. Oh, and if he's gonna set moderators to basically any single random person that enters the chat and is clearly one of those people that don't even speak English, and he's gonna remove my moderator badge for absolutely no reason and refusing to even talk about it, well, you can see how that might make me feel, I don't know, not appreciated. I don't want a whole big thank you speech or anything, but holy fuck. He is a little bit fucked up, if you ask me. But who am I to judge, right? I'm not a doctor. Alright, so we are bearing on. Oh no, I can chat, Bob. You know, but it's a kind of a one-way street here. So, impossible. But if he doesn't want to, then I make my conclusions. But we are bearing on to Kipling Station, and that will essentially mark the end of the stream. And I'll go home and sleep properly and not wake up at 4 a.m. and wake up on a normal time and go to work. So nice things ahead. I can't guarantee you guys that I'll be live next weekend, but if I do go live, it'll probably be either or, Saturday or Sunday. I don't think I'll be live both days, but yeah. Alright, looks like it's actually getting pretty damn dark. There's still some color in the sky behind me, but you know, it's waning. So I'll try not to stop too much until we reach the place we started. It'll be ending at the same exact point where we started, kind of like a loop. Full circle, as you see. And hello, Yoshi, who's freaking tired from work. Sorry to hear that, Yoshi. I hope you get to rest up enough. Yeah. Work can be hard, especially if you're doing that all week. I know when I work, Monday to Friday is not fun, especially if you got long hours, but you know, you need money, so gotta do what you gotta do, right? But definitely get some rest. I don't know if you're working tomorrow or not, but doesn't matter. Rest up either way. Well, it sounds like Montreal has a win. Congrats to Montreal. Here's a brand spanking new Dairy Queen. I have never ever visited it. Probably because it opened super recently, I'm guessing. I've never seen it before, but that's pretty cool. I still don't understand why some Dairy Queens sell like burgers and pastas and salads and chicken dishes. If it's, you know, Dairy Queen, supposed to sell ice cream and stuff, but if that makes money, I guess go ahead. Oh, thank you so much, Mo. Well, first of all, thank you once again for the super generous super chat this morning from Belleville. And also, thanks for watching both of the live streams. I'm very, very happy to hear that you enjoyed. Yes, well, there's no point in watching the replay of this one, Bob. Mostly just ranting about, I don't know what. There wasn't much to comment. There's no landscape. But definitely watch the replay from this morning. You'll see a whole lot of turtles, let me tell you that much. And other stuff. About as cool as turtles, but a lot of turtles. Okie dokie. I could end in the parking lot, or I could end on the street. I think I will end on the street by the very nice sign, which displays all of the... Okay. I almost totally walked right by this, but... Oh my god. Someone was mad, or more likely a unstable person, but that's crazy. Shattered glass. Yes, I'm gonna end beside this sign because it shows Kipling, it shows Go Transit, My Way, and TTC. Alright. There's a cargo train that's coming in. Alright, so thank you guys all for watching. Thank you very much for all the thumbs up. If you haven't, subscribe down below. And if you haven't also watched this morning's live stream from Belleville. It was an super amazing live stream. Alright. Once again, thanks all for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will see you in the next one. And you know, ciao for now.